Sky Squad, we are back in the building. And of course, we've got to talk some news. We've got an update for you on this Nene Leakes lawsuit, and it's getting real interesting. Okay. We got some Candy news, we got some Shawne O'Neal news. So let's go ahead and get into this Ponderosa. But first, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell button, join the texting community, shoot me a text. And what we will do is every time a new video drops, we will send you a text message. Okay. With that out of the way, let's get into the tea. Okay. So TMZ caught up with the Nene Leakes yesterday. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And so we've got some new intel on Nene Leakes indicating that she is being blacklisted in all of Hollywood, okay? I mean, it, let me give you guys exactly what she's saying here. It's a video where TMZ caught up with her, and shout out to our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk for capturing this information. So the reporter asked, well, Nene, what are your goals with this lawsuit? And she says the goals are to stop discrimination against Black women. Okay. She says that the head of the corporation called her a white woman because she has blonde hair. I was like, not the white woman because she got the blonde hair. I was like, ooh, okay, okay. Now, she also is asked if, what type of compensation or is she seeking compensation for this lawsuit? The lawsuit does specify, well, it mentions unspecified damages. Usually, now I'm not a lawyer, but usually based on my educated um Google searches, that usually means monetary compensation, but who really knows? She just says that she can't say, okay? Now, she says, um, when asked why now, why are you pursuing this now? She says, well, she thought it was the right time a few years ago, but she was being retaliated against at the time. I'm assuming this is when she was being offered more episodes. I mean, less episodes allegedly. Um, Maybe that's why she didn't do it. I don't know. So, when asked whether or not this has anything to do with her not getting her own show, she does say, well, it has nothing to do with her not getting her own show. I never wanted my own show. I had plenty of opportunities to have one. Now, I just have to point out because we did see in one of the excerpts from Radar Online from their version that they've gotten of the 74-page complaint that there was allegedly a spinoff show on the table for the Lanithia Lounge, but the network had allegedly only offered her 150,000. Now, again, it's unclear as to whether or not what that 150,000 was going to. That was like a sign-on bonus, if that was like a for a sizzle or for a first episode, a sneak peek, who knows what that was for. But allegedly, once Nene began speaking out against the network, that also was taken off the table, which only makes sense. I mean, based on what we're hearing right now, I mean, I think if you have an employee or an ex-employee who is speaking out against the current job, then the current job is probably no longer going to work with you. I mean, that's just, I think, the way the world works, right? But continuing on, she says, a white man shouldn't say to a Black woman that you're a white woman because you have blonde hair, as if blonde hair belongs to a certain ethnic group. Now, I'm wondering, so this is one of the elements or examples that she is using of discrimination, okay? Now, at first, when she says that the head of the corporation called her a white woman because she has blonde hair, then she goes on to say it's that a white man shouldn't say to a black woman that you are a white woman because you have blonde hair as if it belongs to a certain ethnic group. That's an interesting statement. And I'm like, what was the intention behind that statement? It seems was this said in jest as a joke, and maybe she didn't take it that way? What? I'm just trying to figure out how it was said. That's it. I'm wondering how it was said. What did she say when it was said? How did she take it? Clearly, at this point in time, she's taking it as discrimination. And so that is the example that she is using in this instance with this reporter. She says, yes, it's discrimination when you haven't worked in 3 years, when all of a sudden you're working and sought after and then not working, you're being blacklisted. And because everyone that she has worked with, she's had a good working relationship with, except this one particular group. Okay. Now, again, we have to note these are all Nene's allegations against the network. And this is what she said to TMZ. I will place the link for the neighborhood talk down in the description. I will also place the link to the TMZ article in the description because there is a longer video clip where you can actually hear Nene go into details about the blonde hair comment so you guys can determine what that is for yourself. Okay. Y'all, this lawsuit is a lot. Okay. It is a lot. Now, I think it's time to take things over to someone who has a spinoff that is doing pretty well already, and we will get into those numbers. But I think before we do that, we're going to talk about some new and exciting news that Kandi Burris has in store for us next. Her plate is getting fuller and fuller and fuller and fuller. Shout out to our friends over at the Kandi Burris fan page for getting us this article from Deadline. And it says Kandi Burris and Todd Tucker joined the Piano Lesson Broadway producing team. Okay. So it's a revival starring Samuel L. Jackson, John David Washington, and Danielle Brooks. Now, we know that Kandi was a producer of Broadway's Thoughts of a Colored Man earlier this season. So now she and Todd joined the Piano Lesson producing team of Brian Anthony Moreland, Sonia Friedman, Tom Curday, LaTanya Richardson Jackson will direct this. The performances will begin on Monday, September 19th at the St. James Theater. Both Todd and Kandi said in a statement, we could be more honored and excited to join the producing team of August Wilson's The Piano Lesson. As we continue to push to diversify the Broadway audience, this all-star team and cast is a dream come true for our next venture on Broadway. Okay. Kandi has a lot on the plate. Okay. She has a lot on the plate, and it's noted in the article that she is repped by Pantheon. And so as we look at Kandi and what she has going on, it blows my mind, man. It blows my mind the moves that she and Todd are making. They were definitely a good pairing in terms of what they both bring to the table. Him, especially coming from the production side of television, and then her also having her own stamp in the entertainment industry as well. They really are becoming, if not already, a very powerhouse couple to look out for in Hollywood. And I am very excited to see what they come up with next. Now, with regards to those ratings, I got to take things over to TV Deets because they're going to give us a look at the ratings for Kandi and the Gang. Episode 9, we got a season high, y'all. We got a season high. Shout out to TV Deets for getting us this information. Now, we know that, as I stated earlier, having a lead-in like Atlanta as your base is so important for a spin-off show, right? And that's exactly how Vanderpump Rules became a successful juggernaut in its heyday, was because it had Beverly Hills as the lead-in for a long time. So now when we look at the ratings as the season high of viewers of 642,000, that is doing much better than it was in the weeks prior to, specifically when we had award show season happening from back to back. Okay. So I'm excited about this. Now, to put this in perspective, this is not much lower than the numbers that we got for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. So the Real Housewives of Atlanta numbers, we have 933,000 viewers for the first episode. Okay. Now, according to TV Deets, this was enough to score the number 3 spot in the cable ratings, behind TLC's huge hit, 90 Day Fiance. Okay. This is like, I mean, 90 Day Fiance is apparently the show to look out for, because people are like raving about this show. And it's worth noting that this is actually lower than season 13's debut back in December of 2020. Okay. So I do think that this will grow as the numbers continue, as the episodes continue to increase, and people get more familiar with the idea of Atlanta being back on their screens. But I don't know. It's just very interesting. The premiere for season 13 got 1.4 million viewers, and the season 13 finale got 1.3 million viewers back in April of 2021. So this is a significant dip, but I think there's some room to grow, and I think that there's some room for improvement. Let me know what you guys think down in the chatterization down below. I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts about the ratings for the show. Okay. So the next thing that we want to talk about is another spinoff in the works. And this time it's from some of you guys' favorite and some of you guys not so favorite, Miss Shawne O'Neal. While we will see her in Basketball Wives, hopefully what they will do is they will give this show a proper lead-in with Basketball Wives in front of it, okay? And I know that Monday nights on VH1 are going to be very packed with the couples retreat show and then Tammy's show, but maybe they can bring in this show later on in the season. Now, according to the Jasmine brand, and shout out to the Jasmine brand, they are saying exclusively that she is landing a wedding special. Okay. The limited wedding series will allegedly air on VH1 and will feature some of the ladies from Basketball Wives, both past and present, in the bridal party. I would have to wonder who those bridesmaids would be. Probably Evelyn Lozada and maybe Jackie Christie. Those are the two that I can see potentially. I do know that she has a better relationship with Brandy Maxiel at this point. So it'll be interesting to see who's going to be there. But hopefully Jackie Christie will be in that number. Okay. Are you guys looking forward to Shawne O'Neal's new show? Will you be watching? Will you continue to view The Real Housewives of Atlanta? What are your thoughts on Nene? I know that I packed a lot into this video. I apologize for that because y'all know I like to keep them nice and concise, okay? But I wanted to get y'all this information and see what your thoughts were. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know how we like to do. So, hop on in the chatterization and let us know your thoughts on the ratings, Nene's lawsuit, all this. Let us know. All right. And we will catch you guys in the next video.